Hey, Big Tipper, how are you guys doing this evening? Um, we're going to take a moment before we begin today, before we even mention our topic for today. We want to take a minute just to pause because of what's happened at a Annunciation Catholic Church and School. This is in Minneapolis. This happened yesterday, so my heart is heavy right now, and I know some of yours may be as well. This was supposed to be a joyful morning mass, but gunfire broke out through the walls of safety and innocent, and this is really affecting our country as far as gun violence.
That's right, guys. Two precious children, just 8 and 10 years old, were killed. 14 other students and several elderly worshipers was wounded. Teachers, staff, parents were forced into a nightmare they should have never had to face.
Yeah,
And here's the part that breaks me. It feels like every time we try to breathe, yet another tragedy like this just steals our air.
Yes, it does. So our country is in mourning right now, not just for this particular community, but for all of our lives, all of the lives that have been cut short by mass shootings that keep tearing at the fabric of our nation. It keeps happening. As everybody said, you think it's the last one, but no, it keeps happening. So to those families, our prayers are with you, our hearts are broken with you, and we ask that our J&B family listening right now lifts them up in love and in prayer. So we're praying for those guys.
Exactly,
Mm-hmm.
guys. We really appreciate that. You're so right, Doc B, because this just isn't news, guys. This is real life for families who now have to bury their babies. It's real life for parents who have to explain to the other children why their brother or sister isn't coming home.
Yeah, and it's also real for communities who sit in the pews on Sunday and wonder if they're safe. If you're not safe in a church, oh my God, where are you safe? And family, this is why we just can't just watch the news and just shake our heads. We have to pray, stay prayed up. We have to speak up. We have to speak out about gun violence, and we have to keep calling for change because if we just sit silent, nothing's going to happen.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And to the families, to that Minneapolis community and every community that has been scared by mass shootings, you are not forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
Here at J&B Live Podcast, we're holding you in prayer and standing with you in this season of grief.
Okay. All right, guys. So now that we've done the morning, the prayers for those lives, those that were lost, the family members. We want to get into today's topic, and today's topic is hot. It's something that most of you have probably been asking yourself: is Trump really dying? You've seen what's been happening with him that's on the news, is all over the news outlets about his health. And that's what we're talking about this evening. So shout out to those of you who are joining us. Joseph Thomas, we got Big Tipper, David Reagan. Thank you guys for joining us this evening for another episode of J&B Live. And thank you, much love to you guys for your continued support.
Thank you. We appreciate it, guys.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So much. What's good, fam? It's your boy Broker J3, as always, your uncle,
Mm-hmm.
So listen, if you thought your group chat was messy,
Mm-hmm.
wait till you hear what's going down today. Like Doc B said, rumors are swirling everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Headlines are popping and folks are whispering, is Trump soon to be on his deathbed?
Yeah, that is true. Now, so thank you to everybody tuning in on YouTube. We got some coming in on Bigo Live, TikTok, and of course Facebook. Just whatever your social media platform is. Just don't just sit there. We need your support, so we need you to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so that you don't miss any of our episodes going forward. And as I said before, thank you guys again for your support. So we're talking about, is your president dying? is he on his deathbed? Okay, but listen, people been sending us clip. It's in the news. The
Mm-hmm.
wobble walks, the hand bruises, the swollen ankles, and the slurred speech. But guess what, guys? We got the receipts to prove it. So that's what we're going to talk about this evening.
That's right, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Raw and unfiltered.
Yes.
You know, like what we do
Yeah.
always.
Mm-hmm.
And before we jump in, again, shout out to everybody that's listening live.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate Gen Z that's dropping those memes.
Yes,
The
thank you.
millennials that's keeping
Thank
it
you.
keeping it petty as always.
Yes.
And Gen X, shaking their heads, and of course our baby boomers with the "I told you so." Y'all keep this trending, definitely for sure. Hashtag J&B Live Podcast. Now let's go ahead. Let's get it.
All right, Blackie, let's get it. Okay, so we're going to talk about the receipt. So we're going to start with that wobble walk. We're going to talk about Trump. He was out there on the golf course looking like he was trying to find a beat in the church. The Daily Beast actually caught that clip. He could not walk a straight line if you paid him. And we're also going to talk about when he met with President Putin and he couldn't walk a straight line on the red carpet.
Yeah, exactly. And I actually did a short video on our YouTube channel that specifically talked about that. Even though that particular content was more about Trump's excitement to see Putin, at the same time you was able to see the dysfunction in his walk. He's a grown man. He's looking down, making sure he catches steps correctly. He's bobbing and weaving back and forth. Could not walk a straight line. So, like I said, he was zigzagging like he'd been sipping on some communion wine all afternoon. All right, what I'm saying? And then they said, "Oh, he's just tired." No, fam, that's not tired. That's unsteady. I don't care what you say.
Okay, guys, and now I'm going to talk about them ankles. Not those ankles, them ankles. Or should I say cankles? Lord have mercy. Y'all see how fat those ankles were. What's happening is they covered them up. The media just brushing it off. They covered it up in the official White House photos. They saying he has chronic venous insufficiencies. That's what they calling it. I've never heard of it before. But baby, to me, it's just poor circulation. Why are they covering it up? Why the angles, the different ways they cover it? Why they using Photoshop? And one podcaster is calling it cankles, and that's what I've been referring to it since then.
Yeah, that's them ladies.
Yes.
I can't remember their YouTube channel, but I ain't up or something like that.
Yeah, they call them cankles.
Yeah. but listen up, fam. You don't hide your ankles if they're healthy. Okay? Let's be real. That's not what you do. Okay? And don't get me started about the bruising on his hand. I don't know what all that is going on. And when he talks, he's doing like this, or he'll do like this and cover his hand up so that you can't see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? First it's the makeup, then it's the aspirin. Aspirin don't turn your hand purple.
Okay.
I don't care how many times you take some aspirin, it's not gonna turn your hand purple. That looked like that was either he fell or he had an IV line in his hand. That's what that looked like.
Yes. And some one podcaster, I can't remember which one it was, Broker J3, they compared it to his hand to, I think it was Queen Elizabeth. And it said that her hand looked just like that a couple of days before she passed. And I thought that was weird. That's why I say they have been attacking him. They are bringing to light his health. And I think they should. I really do. And then let's talk about that Air Force One moment when he was going up that flight of steps. If Biden tripped one time, the media ate him alive. Trump, baby, almost fell going up those stairs. And, I said to myself, gravity was not even pulling him down, but he couldn't climb those stairs to save his life. And he stumbled. But guess what? I didn't see it. I mean, they didn't press him like they pressed Biden concerning his health.
No, and actually that happened multiple times. That just wasn't that one time. Because I when I saw the clip, I was like, wow, he's like one step away from that life alert commercial. Help, I've fallen and I can't get up.
Okay. All right. And you know what's wild about this story is if that was anybody's granddaddy, if that was, especially these Gen Zs, Gen X, at the family reunion, y'all would be saying, Papa need a chair, he need to sit down, somebody get him some water and a fan. But when it's Trump, folks are saying, oh, he's just strong and tough. Yeah, all right, please. Come on now, guys. Come on.
Exactly, facts. And like they always say, if it walks like a duck, quack quack like a duck, it ain't no eagle, fam. Y'all know what time it is.
Yeah,
It's a duck.
it's a duck. Exactly. So, guys, let's do a shout out to those who are joining us. Thank you, Coolest, for joining us. We appreciate you. Harriet Calloway. Hi, how are you doing this evening? Thank you guys for joining us. We're talking about, is Trump dying? We're talking about his health, which has been in the news lately. So shout out to you guys that are joining us. And have you seen that wobble walk? I want you to let me know. Have you seen that clip? Do you think it's just his age, or you think it's something deeper? You think his health is failing? We want to know. We're going to pull up some of your comments once you let us know how you feel about the president's health. Okay.
Exactly. And guys, y'all, we do have a gift limit today. So if you guys can help us reach our gift goal, we really would appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
We appreciate it so much for all the gifts that you guys send to us. It really helps to keep this content going. We'll really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes.
Again, like Doc B said, let's talk about that forgetfulness of Trump.
Yeah. Okay. So now this one shook me. Okay. So Trump held 3 press conferences in one day. 3. Who does that now? Okay, did he forget that he already had the cameras rolling earlier? They were teasing, said, well, when he had the first one and then he had the second, did he forget he had the first one? And then by the time he had the third one, did he forget he had the other 2? They have been lighting him up all over the news about those 3 press conferences in one day. Come on.
You're right about that, Doc B. That's not strategy. That's just straight up confusion. You don't just say, hey, let's call another press conference if you just had one an hour ago. That's like calling your kids for dinner 3 times when they've already eaten. Come on, let's be real, guys.
That is just too funny. And the reporters have said he repeats stories back to back. And then just think about it, y'all. Some of the stuff that he says just blows my mind. And he forgets names mid-speech. One conference he had, he was looking for someone in particular. And like, where is he? And the guy was right in front of him. It was crazy. He's rambling into word salad. Baby, that's not quirky. That's not quirky, Trump. That's cognitive decline creeping in. And I remember when he kept talking about President Biden's health, when he couldn't remember stuff, or when he was, rambling words, and they just was all over Biden. They should do the same thing for Trump.
They should. But, here's the spin, and it's wild. Again, the White House dragged Ronnie Jackson, the same doc who lied about his weight years ago, to declare him the healthiest president alive. Seriously, please. That's like calling fried chicken salad, just because they got some parsley on the top of it. Come on, let's get real, guys.
No, that's right, because fried chicken is just fried chicken.
That's all it is.
And can we be real, guys? We're going to keep it real. If your uncle was at the big Thanksgiving is right around the corner, telling the same story back to back over and over again, the family's going to start whispering, because I know I would. We would be saying, well, we better keep an eye on him. He doesn't sound right. But with Trump, they're calling it a strategy. That's not strategy, guys. That's slipping. That's cognitive decline at its best.
Exactly. And guys, go ahead, fam. We want y'all to go ahead and comment. Do y'all think that multiple press conferences were forgetfulness, or was just some kind of game plan? Let us know. If you guys think that he had a game plan by calling those 3 conferences, or it was just straight up forgetfulness, we'd like to know.
All right. Thank you, Curtis and Arunda Moore, for joining us. We also have Pedigree Hustler. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you guys. Where are you guys from? I would like to know. Where are you from? We've got we got Trent W11 joining us as well. Thank you for the blue flower, Curtis. Appreciate it. We appreciate all of your gifts. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. We appreciate it. All of your gifts will go a long way and give us an opportunity to keep this podcast coming. Okay, guys. So now we're going to talk about those standards. We talked about they would be all over Biden when he would have those
Yeah,
little slips
those
or
double
whatnot.
standards. That's exactly what
We're
they
talking
are.
about the double standards. They're not doing the same thing for Trump. Okay, so this is where it gets a little heated and kind of controversial. But just think about it. Biden tripped on some stairs. He mixed up a name. The media said he's senile. He's unfit to serve. They were saying that somebody else that he no longer needs to be the president. But when Trump is out here slurring words, wobbling, can't walk a straight line, forgetting his own press conference, stumbling going up the stairs, and suddenly they call it, oh, that's just his style. Really? That's hypocrisy at its best.
That's right. It's louder than a marching band at homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. When Biden sneezes, CNN does a week-long panel about it. That's everything that happened with him. Oh, he slipped. He walked the wrong way. Everything that Trump has done multiple times this second term of his, that they're blowing off like it's nothing. Trump rants about windmills giving cancer, which is some straight up BS. I guess some oil companies are paying him a lot to deal with those fossil fuels. You want to take us back to the past. But, and they keep saying, oh, it's just Trump being Trump. No, it's not like that. If Biden slipped, it's newsworthy. At least that's what they think it is. But then when Trump's health struggles, that should be front page too.
Yeah. And I remember one press conference he had for J3. He was just talking about the grass. He
said he's an expert on grass.
On grass. I'm saying to myself, okay, you're an expert on grass, but what about the business of the White House, of the president? Okay, that was just weird. Too weird. So it's all about accountability, guys. Equal standards. The people deserve the truth, not spin, because that's what they're doing, primarily just spinning it. We're too smart for that at this point, guys.
Exactly. And guys, as Dr. B said, we'll appreciate you guys that's continue to tap the screen. We'll appreciate it. And as always, we're always interactive. We want you guys to drop your thoughts, put them in the comments, put them in the chat. And if you are not watching live and you decide you're going to catch us later on YouTube, you can still, drop your comments in then. We'll still be glad to read your comments then. Just let us know. Do you guys think the media is protecting Trump while they was attacking Biden? We want to see what y'all got to say. So let us know. Let's talk about it now.
Okay. Yes, I personally think the media is protecting him. And we talked about this on one of the other episodes. I think when we were talking about the legacy media, how they are projecting all positive things about the Trump. They're not really bringing us what facts.
Yeah.
And if they don't bring facts and they don't criticize Trump or they don't tell the truth about what's happening, then they won't be invited to travel with him, and so they will get sued. So a lot of them are afraid to broadcast or put his health out there because they're afraid of retaliation.
Exactly. So what are your thoughts overall, Doc B, about what's going on with Trump health and how the media is portraying the whole thing? How do you feel about that?
Okay, so I think what's happening is they're not telling us the exact truth, because you can look at President Trump's skin. His skin looks different, more dryness. And a lot of people have said that's a lot of makeup that he's wearing. So I don't think they're giving us the full truth. I do believe something is seriously going on with his hand, because he had a press conference, I think it was a couple of days ago, and when he was talking, he was covering up his hand, so he didn't want anyone to see. So I personally think they're hiding a lot from us. And then one of his previous doctors, the first term that he had, say that he admits that he said exactly what Trump told him to say about his health. So in other words, he really lied basically to the American people about President Trump's health at that time. Yeah. So, but my final words on this, guys, is, well, thank you, Loving Myself. I remember your name, and Antonio Hill. Thank you guys for joining us. And June Ugg and Kelly Clark. We appreciate you guys.
Positive for Trump for me. Okay, Kelly Clark. Okay.
Well, I'm with you, Miss Clark. I surely am. Thank you for the gift, loving myself. We appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for your support. We want you to like, share, and subscribe, and just hit that. Like I said, keep tapping that screen. Send us a heart. Let us know that you're here. Like I said, we appreciate your support, and we want to continue to bring you this information because when you know better, you do better. You need to know what's going on with this president because we have a right to know about the president's health because if something happens to our president, guess what? Vance is the vice president, becomes the president. So we need to know. I know, right? We need to know what's going on with the president's health. We deserve to know. Okay. So my final thought on this is Trump health is not just gossip. It's a national concern. Though that wobble walk, plural, the bruises, the cankles we talked about, the repeat press conferences, or it's going off on tangents, the stumble stares, it all adds up. The media must stop protecting him while they crucified Biden for less than that. Whether you like him or not, the country deserves transparency, just like the Epstein files. We need to know because at the end of the day, this is all about trust. You expect to trust your president and you want to know what's going on with his health. We cannot afford for the most powerful office in the world to be playing hide and seek with the truth about health. We want to know. If Biden had to prove it, if he had to do it, then Trump should have to do the same thing. No excuses.
Exactly.
Period.
And I think Loving Myself and Kelly both said something.
Okay, and Loving Myself says they live in D.C. and it's a war zone here. And see, I was wondering, there was a young lady on the news earlier that said that crime was down in D.C., but she didn't like the way that they handled it, but crime was actually down. And see, it's my understanding, and that's what we're going to talk about next. What city is going to be next? On the news, they're saying that Chicago will be the next city where they bring
Chicago,
out the National Guard.
Atlanta. They mentioned 3 different cities that's on the list next. So ATL, get ready.
Okay, and Loving Myself said the National Guard is everywhere. That's what I heard. But they said Chicago is next on the list. Yes,
they said. She said, "I don't trust him." And
Kelly Clark said, "I don't trust him at all." Though Pennsylvania here, I don't trust him at all either because right now, and I agree, we deserve to know the truth. We do not know what's going on with the president's health. And now there have been talk, and it's all over the news that they are in position for Vance to become the president should something happen to the president. Just think about it. That's got to be part of the plan. If we're noticing the decline in his health, they know what's going on as well. And guys, trust me, they do.
And keep in mind, guys, if y'all don't know, y'all need to know. Vance is a younger, more devious, more evil person than Trump. Believe what I'm telling you. He's not better than Trump. He's worse than Trump.
Yes, that's what they say. That's what I've heard that as well several times. Okay, Kelly Clark says he seems to be going after black mayor. I've heard the same thing. Yeah, I've heard the same thing. Governors as well, same thing. And also tanks are everywhere in D.C. So my prayers are with you guys in D.C. Because they said that a lot of people can't even walk in peace. They can't even walk the streets. So, my prayers are with you guys out there as well. Now, like I said, I was surprised to hear it was a black female that was talking about crime being down in D.C. She just didn't like the way that things were handled. And what Trump said on the news this week was he wanted the black mayors or governors to call him and invite him. That was weird hearing that.
But the one in Baltimore, he actually told Trump, "Hey, why don't you come and walk the streets with me?"
Yeah. But
they was in a Twitter war against each other actually, because of that. It's sad that and see, this goes right back to what we're talking about today. Trump's mental
to distract from the Epstein files. And that could be the case as well. But he has everything that he does is intentional.
Exactly. And guys, and here's my take on this. In regards to Trump's health and decline. This is no little cold or no aspirin bruise. This looks like a real decline. I've seen men in my own family, and especially one of them very close to me that's dealing with dementia. These signs are very familiar. The wobble, the shuffle, the forgetfulness, the stubborn denials. All this is a mix with the biggest platform in the world. It's very dangerous, guys. Not just for him, but for our country. He may not be on his deathbed today, but the signs are there that something is seriously wrong with the president's health, mentally and physically.
Yes.
The cover-ups, the makeups, the spin doctors, guys, that's just straight up deception. And when the truth finally comes out, because it will.
Yes, it's gonna come out.
Don't say we didn't warn you. Don Lemon, the Midas Touch, Michael Cohen, all of the Rowan, Roland Martin.
Yeah.
All of these great streamers, news platform podcasts are letting you know what's going on. So don't say we didn't warn you. And as a people, we can't afford to be fooled by the smoke and mirrors.
You sure can't. So hit that likes, share, and subscribe. Keep tapping the screen and come back and see us. We're here on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. And then on Wednesdays and Fridays, we usually chime in, usually between 6 and 7. We're trying to bring you the news on a regular basis so that you know what's going on with the United States, because there's a lot going on every single day. There's something going on with the president as far as how he's mistreating people, how he is because he really just padding his pockets right now. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, because I think since he's been in office, he's
$3.4
billion richer
since he's been
in office. So that's what it's all about, and it's so sad, because what he's doing is he's taking away from the American people. You got some people out there that can't feed their families. Some of them don't have nowhere to stay, and yet he's getting richer, and then the people in the United States are getting poor. We don't have anything, because he's cutting all the benefits and whatnot.
And don't think that this is just a black and white or brown thing, guys, because it's not. This particular situation, believe it or not, is not always about the color of our skin. This is about money, because Trump don't care nothing about no middle or no lower class people. Trump cares about the rich and the wealthy, because if he cared about the middle class and lower class people, he wouldn't be stripping away health care. He wouldn't be taking away food benefits. He wouldn't be taking away housing subsidies. He wouldn't be doing all of those things just so the rich can stay richer and less taxes. He's already fired the Federal Reserve.
I think it was the CDC.
Yeah, because he don't like the interest rates.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. So
everything is all about him and the rich Clooney's. And so, Kelly Clark, we appreciate your support this evening, and I agree with you. Impeach this ignorant con man, and that's what he is. And the saddest part about it is, we knew most of this. Some of us knew this going into the election. Everybody knew this is straight out of Project 2025.
Yeah.
It's straight up, but some people voted for him anyway. Yeah. A lot of immigrants voted for him anyway. They didn't think they were going to be affected.
No, they didn't. And it's funny, because every time they talked about it, he was like, I don't know nothing about the Project 25. I've never heard of it. I don't know what it's about. But he's following that same plan. If you guys can pull it up and actually read Project 2025 and see what's happening right now. It's a playbook that he's following.
Right, straight out of the playbook.
He's following it. But, look at all the people that he deceived, like she just, like Doc B just said. look at all the Latinos that voted for
Vote
Trump,
for them.
thought that Trump was the answer for them,
Yeah.
and now here they are running for their lives, scared to go to work.
Yeah.
They dropping their kids off at school, getting detained, sent to Alligator Alcatraz. Like, why would you? It's a difference if you send them to a detention camp like he did his first presidency, but now you want to send them somewhere, Alligator Alcatraz, like they criminals. Like, okay, so some of them may be illegal alien, but they still are human beings.
Yeah.
So treat them for what they are.
Yeah, and see, a lot of people don't realize that the immigrants are the ones that do that labor, like some of the farms in some of like Idaho, Iowa. They don't have anybody to work on their farms because guess what? The immigrants, they're not coming to work. They're not gonna come to work because they fear being detained. So they don't have anybody to work on their farms. So guess what? Their farms are gonna go under. So this is going to affect everyone, and it's going to get worse day by day, week by week, month by month until he's out of office.
All right,
so
guys.
we're going to bring that information to you guys. We're going to have something to talk about every Tuesdays and Thursdays. And like I said, we will go live as well on Wednesdays and Fridays as well. So guys, we thank you for your support. We thank you for all of the comments today. You guys, y'all lit it up today. Y'all hit that screen. Y'all tapped the screen. Y'all shared those comments, and we do appreciate it.
If you guys if you haven't already, make sure you guys help us reach our gift goal. We really appreciate it. As Doc B said earlier, it really goes a long way to keep this going. And fam, yeah, y'all know where to find us. We're on every social media platform. For some of you guys that may not know, Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Amazon Music, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. Wherever you scroll, we are there. All you have to do is just search for J&B Live Podcast, or you can follow us on @Live with J&B.
All right, guys. Thank you, Kelly Clark. She gave us a comment. She said, "I love your reporting, guys. Have a beautiful evening and keep up the good work." Thank you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Come back again,
Come back again. And remember, guys, I am your girl. I'm your favorite auntie, Dr. B.
And as always, I'm your boy. I'm your favorite uncle, Broker J3. And like we always like to tell you guys when we talk about something special,